Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Muhammad Kamran Azim, and I'm with you with Arabic learning lessons. And these lessons have an objective, or the objective of these lessons is to help you read Arabic text, and then you can so that you are able to read Quran, read Arabic, read Quran, recite Quran in the correct way. Now, to actually learn the language, that like what does different words mean, how the sentence is constructed, etc., that is not going to be part of this course, because this course only teaches you how to read it and even how to write it. The actual understanding of the meanings will only come when you start talking to someone and interact with someone, and then you learn the meanings of different words, or you attend a specific language course. This is just for the recitation and to be able to identify the letters and the words and the constructs which is necessary to be able to read or recite Quran. Some of the facts about Arabic language is, the first one is that it is the language of Quran and the language of Muslims in general. It is also the language of many non-Muslims living in the Arab region. So Arab Christians speak Arabic, Arab Jews speak Arabic, and so on. The second thing is that this language is written from right to left. Normally English, French, and other Western languages are all written from left to right, whereas Arabic, Urdu, Farsi, etc., they are all written from right to left. The number of alphabets in Arabic language are 28 or sometimes 29, and both numbers are correct, and I'll explain to you why in a moment. One thing I want to warn you about is I have permanent bad throat, so occasionally I would need to cough. I will try to mute the mic, right? And water, a bit warm water is my only cure. The second thing is that I'll be showing you how to pronounce these words from different sound sources like teeth and the mouth and the throat, etc. So when you look at my teeth, you'll see that I don't have the most beautiful teeth in the world. That's because I had an accident in childhood. I had a head-on collision with the car while I was on a bicycle. So my teeth went back and a bit up and down. So don't focus on that. Just focus on the way excuse me, that it is supposed to be pronounced, these letters and these words. So we start Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which means I start with the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. And I hope I start with this prayer that I hope that this is useful to all of you who are watching it. It doesn't matter if this is useful to one or many. This is just made for one. So it's up to you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The first letter which you see on the rightmost here, the letter written in bold is the name, is the letter, this is the actual letter. What's written here in very small font, so to speak, is the way to pronounce it. You don't need to focus on this small thing here. We just need to focus on the this bold letter or alphabet. The first letter is Alif. Its name is Alif, and it doesn't have a sound, and that is why it's sometimes counted as an alphabet, sometimes not. Or you can say that 28 letters have sounds, but one of the but 29th letter, or the first letter, doesn't have a sound, and rest of the 28 letters have sounds. So this Alif is a soundless letter. It doesn't have a sound of its own. You can roughly relate it to A, which this sound is actually also not there in English, as I understand. It is an alphabet in Norwegian language, and I will bring in Norwegian a bit, because I live in Norway and I speak some Norwegian, so of course I will use that for referencing and for examples. And just so you know, originally I'm from Pakistan, and Urdu is my native language, just for information. All right. So the first letter, I think I spent too much time on the introduction. So let's go. By the way, okay, before I actually started up, there are many videos, of course, on Arabic language. And one of the best I noticed is by someone whose name is Imam Raza here. So this is not this guy. All right, we have to skip the ads. So this guy, Imam Raza, he has very, very good, excellent lessons on learning how to read these letters, Arabic language letters, and how to recite Quran. His videos are 15-20 minutes long, and in each video he covers only few letters. So for a person who's who wants to at least learn all the letters or the sounds at least in one go, these videos become too much to handle in the beginning. So I thought I would make a smaller video which covers the basics, and then you can shift to listening to this Ustad or this Imam Raza. And I strongly recommend that you do watch his videos. Right, so this is let's get that out of the way. Nuraniya letters, part 1, Imam Raza. This is something which you should look for. This is the face. Watch his videos starting from lesson 1. All right. So I'll be covering all 28-29 letters in this video in a very short time. Bismillah. So the first letter is Alif, which I've already covered, and you can closely resemble it to English letter A or A. The sound is it doesn't have a sound of its own. It is used to stretch the sounds of other alphabets. So we will see other examples. The next is Ba. This letter here, you see, it's a plate-like structure with a dot at the bottom. This is Ba. The actual sound sources of them I will cover in a different video. This is the letter Ta. So Ba was closely almost the same as B as in English, the same sound, B. Ta has this plate structure with 2 dots on it. This letter is not there in English. In English we have a hard Ta, which is T as in tank or top, etc. But there is no Ta in English. It is there in French, as in a tout le monde, for example. So Ta is there in French, so that sound is there. So it's easy. It's a soft T. It's a the and I'll cover the sound source later. This is the next letter is tha. It is someone close to like the way you write th as in English, like Uthman. When you write Uthman in English letters, let me show you. When you write Usman, generally it's written like this, right? But sometimes you will see that Uthman is written like this, and this is what the tha sound is. Like when you write in English, you write or you say the word beneath. The Pakistani way of saying it is beneath, but this is the actual pronunciation is beneath. So this tha is what this th makes. So that is tha, which closely resembles what I told you about. Then is the letter Jim. It's just the sound of J, Jim. Then is the letter Ha, and this is, some people mistake it as the letter H in English. The letter H in English has a different sound. This Ha is very specific to Arabic language. Its sound source is somewhere here on the top of the throat, Ha, and we will cover the sound sources later. This is Kha. This is also not there in English language. Many people know the word Khan, Imran Khan, Khan Academy, Khaki. But the English speakers normally they don't bother to say it correctly, so they say Imran Khan and Khan Academy and Khaki and this and that. So that's not the correct, and it's also not Khan, not Imran Khan or Khan Academy. No, this is the word Kha, and when you write, normally you will see it as like this, Khan, right? This KH will make the word with the letter or sound letter Kha. Very good. Then is the letter Dal. This is soft D. We know day, dead. These are hard D's. This is soft D, which is pronounced as Dal, and the sound is D. For example, if you write there, themselves, that's the sound here, the. Then comes Dal. Dal is you can closely resemble it to Z, but it's not really Z because that's another letter coming up. So Dal is the sound is the, and the name is Dal, and we will come to more details later. This is Ra. This is Ra, Ra, and that's the name Ra, and the sound is R, or just like R. The next letter is Za. That's very close to the English Z or Z. Za, that's the name Za, and the sound of course comes out as Z. Then is the letter Sin. Sin as in S, as in Sierra, as in sun. That's the scene. This is the scene here. And of course the word scene. Don't create a scene. Alright, Sheen. This is the same sound as in SH, as in she, as in Sherlock, and so on. She. Then is the next letter Sod. This sounds like S to untrained ears, but this is a different sound. It is a difficult sound, and it's more a full sound, as in the mouth, like sod. You don't move around your lips too much. It's sod. It's a different sound than seen. Seen will be with the whistle, like this one. Seen is s. You will hear the s, the whistle sound, but with sod you will not hear the whistle sound. It's sod. It's very a blank sound. Then comes a dod. This is the most difficult letter in Arabic, and many Arab people take pride in calling Arabic language as the language of dod. It's pronounced very it has a difficult sound source, but we'll come to that later. Many people you can consider it close to dal and zal or dal, mix of these two, but the sound source is different, so the sound is different. Sometimes you hear maybe the sound dal, as in people saying dal, like fard, but dal has a different sound source, so that fard, if you say dal fard, that's dal at the end. If you say fard, that's zod at the end. And you will come to know these differences a bit later. These are different sounds. If you're not able to hear them, then of course this is a audio and video recording, and it's not super optimal, and you're not sitting right in front of me to hear these slight differences. Alright, so the next letter is ta, and it's also a full sound. So this sod, zod, ta, and dha are full sounds. You have to fill your mouth with these sounds. So ta, it's a very full sound. It's not the first in the beginning of the alphabet there was a ta, soft T. This is not hard T, because hard T, as in tank, as in top, is not in Arabic language. So this is a stronger version of ta. So this is ta, but still not T, as in tank. This is dha. Excuse me. This is dha, dha. This is also sounds like close to Z, but it's a bit hard Z. Then comes the next letter, which is Ain. Now this Ain is not there in English language, so it's a difficult sound for English speakers, but this sound is there in French, as I know. It's pronounced with the middle of the throat. It's a full sound with the open mouth. Ain, it's from here. It's not an, because then it becomes an A. So if you confuse, many people confuse it as an. This is an, or another way would be an, or even an. No matter what you write in English, it can of course not be equivalent to the actual Arabic letter Ain. So this is the closest you get. But if you read it like this, then you pronounce it incorrectly, and then you get the wrong meaning. Because when you say something incorrectly, then it has the wrong meaning. Anyhow, so Ain. Then the next letter is Ghain. Ghain. This letter is also not there in English, but let's say there is a word called Ghali, right? Ghali. So English speakers would say gali, or ghali, but this is not. So this is a way to closely resemble gha. Many people use this notation in Pakistan and India especially to represent ghain in English. So if my name is Ghulam Abbas, I would write Ghulam Abbas, for example. But this is not, this confuses people. So this is there in French, and I also know this sound is in Norwegian, in Western Norway, the dialect which is used in Western Norway. The letter R is actually pronounced as R in Norway, in Western Norway. So Norwegians can say this sound. It's very easy for them. The next letter is fa. Fa. It's just like F is in English. The next letter is of. Of. It's a full sound. It's not kaf. It's not k. It's more closer to q in English. So of. And then comes the equivalent of K here, kaf or kaf. It's very soft, just like K as in kite, as in kilo. So this is kaf, a simple kaf. But the one before was heavy, as in qaf for Quran, for qutila, for qabl, and all those words with of. So qaf, kaf. The next letter is lam, as in English equivalent is L or lam. The sound is same, L. The next letter is mim, as in M in English, mim. And then is noon, as in N for November, noon. Then is vow. Here you see vow as in W, vow. Then is ha. This ha is different from ha, and you can probably hear it. This is ha, and the previous one was ha. Ha. This is ha. And it has another form of writing, so I'll show it to you. It's a bit visible here in this symbol here, and I'll show it to you when I write these letters by hand. This is Hamza. Hamza is used to provide a sudden jerk on a sound, or a sharp jerk. For example, ma. Instead of saying ma, you say ma. Or if you want to say ma, then you use a hamza at the end of that construct to cause it a sudden jerk. So this is hamza. It looks like ayn here, like this guy, but it is not. Hamza always is written like this. Then is ya. This is ya, this one, with two dots at the bottom. This is one way of writing ya, and another way of writing the same letter is like this, like in a plate form with two dots at the bottom. So these both are one letter. These are not two different letters. It's just two different ways of writing the same letter. Ya. So now I will. So these were the letters, Arabic alphabets, all of them. So now we are going to see which are the different ways of writing them. For that I have a software to write on, so I will use a pen. Alright, so notice the margin is on the left side. That is for English writing. So this is the software built for English speakers or English people. and I'm just using it for Arabic. So I don't have a margin here like I should have one here, but I don't have. But I have to live with it. So let's see what alphabets, how they are written. I'm going to show you how they are written. So normally each alphabet is written between these two lines. It could be utilizing some letters could appear utilizing two lines as here. Well, that's for beautification. You can write it in one line. Alright, so first letter is Alif, then the next letter is Ba, and then the next letter is Ta, and the next letter is Tha with 3 dots, then is Jim, Ha, Kha, Dal, Zal, Ra, Za, Sin, Sheen, Sad, Sad, Ta, Dha, Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon, Vav, Ha, Hamza, Ya. So these are all the letters we have. Some letters have sometimes a different way of writing. So just so you know. So the first thing is Ta. So Ta will sometimes appear as the round Ta. It's called Ta Marbuta. So this is what you will see sometimes. This is Ta. Dal can sometimes appear as like this. Dal can also sometimes appear like this with the dot here right on the line. So this is not Noon. Noon is here with a big ball and a dot in the middle. This is the full letter. I'm not talking about other combinations which will come later in a different video. So Ra can also sometimes appear in some books or way of writing as like this. And Za can also appear sometimes like this. Just so you know. Sin, Shin, Sad, Za, Ta, Za, Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf. I probably wrote this Kaf as in Urdu style. The most commonly you will see in Arabic as this. Kaf. But you will see this Kaf with a long line, slanting line, at many times in Quran. So both of these are the way to write kaf. Ha, here, ha has another way of writing, and that is with two eyes, as I say. Here, this is one eye, like this. This is the form you will see, ha. And ya is sometimes written as like this, like a half coat hanger. This is also ya. Very good. So these are some of the ways some letters are written. If we count them, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 letters. And out of them, I said all of them have sounds except alif. So this was the lesson about Arabic letters, alphabets, which we are going to learn how to identify and how to pronounce in the coming videos. So see you in the other video then. Thank you for your time. I hope you find it useful. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.